Alright, we are back with some more Muv Luv. It's actually been like a hot minute since I played. I think this is the first episode I recorded in January. It's the 11th, so yeah, almost 2 weeks. I'm ready. I believe we are going to do Hive Simulation. I think that's where we left off. But yeah, let's just get right into it. First, we gotta wake up though. One of these days, it's gonna be Sumika doing that. I'm waiting for it. But for now, it's all reliable. Kasumi. Hey, morning, Kasumi.
おはよう。
Sleep well?
はい。
So hey, I'm gonna be pretty late to... Oh wait, I already told you last night, didn't I?
はい。
Heh, guess I'm still half asleep.
バイバイ。
Alright. Huh? Is that all I get today? Hey, Kasumi? Whoops. Probably should have thought of something to say before calling her name. We'll just stare at each other. That always works. So like... Oh, I know. Okay, so Christmas Eve's coming up on the 24th. You know what that means?
知ってます。
Huh? Wait, really?
誕生日とクリスマスはプレゼントの日。
She knows. What did we give her last time? Did we give her like string? String to play Cat Strato in Unlimited? Or was it something else? Yep, you got it. Cool, then this will be easy to explain. Short version is, I used to give Sumika presents back in my world. This might help, I guess. So I was thinking that doing the same thing here might help push her in the right direction. What do you think?
楽しい思い出はいいと思います。
Yeah? Okay then, what do you think I should get her?
わかりません。
It's not like we have a lot of options. Can't really go shopping for something. Aw.
あげたいもの、
Huh?
それが一番だと思います。
I don't have a clue on what to get her. Whatever I feel like giving her. You know what? She's right. Looking back on it, I never really asked Sumika what was on her Christmas list. Except that one time where she wanted the... What did she want? She wanted a plushie or something? I'd always just pick her gifts on a whim. Let's see, what would I like to give her? I'm trying to blank.
バイバイ。
Okay, thanks for waking me up. See you tonight. There's a minor problem here, though. Traditionally, I've always given her my presents on Christmas Eve, but that's also the day before the assessment. Oh, the final day? Before... Yeah, I guess the final check if she's ready for the actual mission. If there's not enough time to start seeing results, it kind of defeats the purpose, so I probably shouldn't be too picky about the date. I better give it to her ASAP. But what would she like, though? Oh, I guess I'll stop by the Pietz after class. Can you buy stuff at the Pietz? I thought it was just a lunchroom.
という国際情勢から正面装備をアメリカ製兵器主体で調達し続けることに危機感を覚えた帝国国防省は
You don't know the full context, but already? I agree. Probably shouldn't be trusting them. I mean, you can trust them, but like relying on their military hardware? I feel like, obviously it might be different in this world, but Japan's usually good at hardware stuff, traditionally.
1983年極秘裏に次期第三世代主力戦術機の独自開発を決定
Though it does look like now America has better TSFs, right? Or maybe just in comparison to the normal ones. I don't know if they're better than the high-end Royal Guard stuff.
川崎重工、富岳重工、三菱重工の3社共同計画として開始させた当時激震のライセンス生産から第一世代機の基礎技術を習得していた各社はすでに上大将の発注で82年に髄核などの F4 改造機を開発していたが
I'll keep it off 100. I literally don't know any of the TSF names. I've just been just calling them TSFs. I mean, Shiranui, I guess that's the default one, right? I think the Raptor is what the American ones were called, something Raptor. But I haven't been keeping track, man. I don't think it's too important, though. Just refer to them as American TSFs or whatever. It's the cool purple one. Okay. No wonder, each successive generation uses totally different concepts. The difference between the first and third is staggering. The first generation were more like armored land vehicles than anything, but as time went on, advances in technology paved the way for more maneuverable aerial TSFs we use today. Eagle. So this is just a TSF lore. Right. So basically we straight up stole America's ideas. I mean, that's all innovation is, right? It's taking an idea and making it better. Usually, anyways. Well, to be fair, I guess all innovation comes from tinkering with existing technology to keep up with modern needs. That's literally what I said. I swear I didn't read that. But you said it way more eloquently than me. Good job, Taku, showing me up. Don't see why weapons would be any different. But yeah, I mean, it just made sense, right? That's evolution, baby, basically. The first one, huh? But if we're being technical here, shouldn't that title go to the Fubuki? The Fubuki was essentially just a souped-up F-15J, created to serve as a test model for some of the technology that was being developed for the Shiranui. After the Shiranui was completed, the Fubuki was repurposed into a training model. The parts for the Shiranui weren't mass-produced until after that, so it took another 3 years to get them into circulation. Maybe I'm just being defensive since I'm so used to the Fubuki. Yeah, that's what they all use as cadets. The classic. The shitty ones. But I do kind of feel like it gets overlooked, though I suppose it made sense not to include the prototype. Put some respect on the Fubuki's name. And since the Fubuki's just a training model, I guess that really does make the Shiranui the first real Japanese TSF. Not really. I'm just surprised the Americans allowed us to develop our own TSFs. Like me, I said the US was pretty much treating Japan like a puppet state back then. There's no way their intelligence agencies weren't aware, no matter how secret its development was. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's obviously risky to let another country develop TSFs, but again, world-ending threat. It's probably better to have more weapons. And we are like the wall before they hit America, right? Yeah, they focused on America. Yeah, just to patch up the weak spots, right? Reinforce the wall. I see. So they did, okay. Well, that's a little different than what we heard anyways. So they didn't just completely abandon us they were fighting their own thing in Europe, and they did like kind of help us develop our own TSF. So it wasn't like a complete abandonment like they previously portrayed it, or at least I think Yuto portrayed it, like that they just noped out. So the US pretty much hit the jackpot, and obviously, yeah, like they also said that it caused like an influx of people buying more of their TSFs. I mean, it's still like super beneficial for them, and it puts them ahead a lot, but it's not as bad as I thought. Gotta hand it to them. They tend to cover all their bases when it comes to international strategy.
だが、その金が対ベータ兵器の開発につぎ込まれたのも事実だ。それによって生み出された兵器がベータの進行を停滞させているという現実を見れば、アメリカの利益という側面だけを強調するのは不公平だろう。
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to connect this, so so because of this, countries started paying for American-made TSFs. However, the fact remains, I guess she's saying, like, I still don't think it's horrible, but I guess she's saying like all the money they bought like older TSFs, and they used that money that the other countries spent to build new beta weaponry, while the other countries were stuck with the older ones. It wouldn't. I literally just read it wrong. Okay, I was so confused, but I literally just read the sentence wrong. I thought she said it would be quite fair to say the Americans just took their money and ran, but it wouldn't. Okay, there we go. I was kind of confused because it didn't sound like they just took their money and ran from the previous sentence. I literally just can't read. Who would have thought? There you go. Read, Aiden, read.
90年という時間差を考えれば、結果的にアメリカの読みは正しかったということだ。
Yeah, I guess so. There's no predicting the beta's next move, so from the facts alone, you have to admit the US made a keen analysis of the situation and their global strategy was spot on. But what if the beta had moved both west and east at the same time? What would they have done then? Probably would have left Asia to fend for itself, I'm guessing. Nope, I don't think so. Which is current generation, right? Or is it? I don't know. I think it is. Okay. Pretty sure it is. Shiranui? Yeah, yeah. Raptor. I said Raptor, I think. Peregrine Avenger. Did we only saw Raptors from the Americans, I'm pretty sure. Taka Mikazushi is the Royal Guard stuff. Yeah, IRG, Royal Guard. Ubuti Shiranui. Okay. I'm not gonna remember the names, but if I see the names in text, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. They're kind of hard, man. Like, I can't even say Taka Mitazuchi. Well, I can, but it's a long name, man. Peregrine and Avenger. Also. Europe's. As someone pointed out, my TSF model is a Russian model, I think someone said. Maybe it's one of these. So we haven't seen these at all. I mean, we haven't seen Europe do anything yet. It's just been America. Well, I mean, Europe's pretty wiped out. They've all, like, migrated, right? To somewhere else. So the Soviets developed their own models after evacuating to Alaska. Oh, they're in Alaska. I forgot that fact if they told us that before, which they probably did. That made sense. As did the U after being forced back to Inland and Greenland. That's where they're chilling? Inland, Greenland, and Alaska. Man, that sucks, man. England must be fucking... Oh, well, maybe it's not crowded, considering the state of the world. Greenland's huge, though. I guess that's a good use for Greenland. Because that place is massive, right? So I'm sure they used American TSFs as a base to build off of, just like we did.
これらはすべて第三世代機ではあるが、それぞれに要求される想定任務により、その特徴も機体仕様も全く異なる。
Raptors? That's for sure. Those Raptors we fought had insane cruising speed and were difficult to spot on radar. So it's pretty clear they were designed for human versus human combat. The PvP model. America's clearly thinking ahead what will happen after the beta are done. Very confident of them.
だが、これら第三世代機に分類される機体には共通する特徴が3つある。統合情報戦術分配システムへの対応、オペレーションバイライトシステム、そして高い機動性だ。
I don't remember what JETIS is, though the other stuff made sense. Oh, okay. It's that thing. Yeah, okay, I do know what it is. I just forgot the acronym. Yeah. No, we remember, basically. Right. Okay, I actually didn't know that, but it made sense. It's basically, yeah, just puts their brain stuff directly into the controls. Dot pattern, control inputs, yeah.
小型軽量化、対電磁干渉と防火性の向上などが挙げられる。また、第二世代機の特徴であるオペレーションバイワイヤの電線と比べてメンテナンス性も格段に向上している。そして電線では実現できない高い対電磁干渉性は将来的に家電粒子砲が配備される際には必須と言える性能だ。
Particle beam cannons? You mean we've already got them in development? Secret tech incoming. Okay. But if it wasn't already being worked on, she wouldn't have mentioned it as a benefit. It's probably safe to say we'll be using them in the near future. We're beaming, man. Man, the old me would have gone total fanboy over this. It sounded like something straight out of Valderon. But now all I can think about is how I sure as hell don't envy the guys who have to test out these new and unproven technologies. I mean, I'm sure they beta test them before in like a safe environment. But yeah, there's always a risk with newer stuff.
オペレーションバイライト導入による小型軽量化と情報転送の高速大容量化は第三世代機最大の特徴である高い機動性にとって必要不可欠なものだ。また、新素材の開発によって軽量化された耐熱耐弾複合装甲と対レーザー蒸散塗膜加工技術も機体の機動性向上に大きく貢献している。重装甲の第一世代機に比べ第二世代機は耐熱耐弾装甲を主要部に限定することで高い機動性を確保したが、第三世代機はさらに装甲そのものを軽量化し、機体各部の連動性や柔軟性、
I mean, that's just super important in like a Gundam style mech. Lightweight.
ところで白金、貴様が訓練で使っていた吹雪には何本の腕があった？
2? How many arms? There's 2 main arms and 2 auxiliary arms in the blade sheaths. Do the sword and the rifle mounts count too? 2 main arms and 2 auxiliary arms in the blade sheaths. Trying to picture that in my head. Do they not mean... Oh, when they mean arms, do they mean weapons? Or what? I thought they meant literal, like, arms. But I'm thinking they mean weapons. Probably not the sword mount, but you can use the rifle mount to shoot behind you from a prone position. I guess that would count as an arm. 6 in total.
様はこの辺りの座学をスキップしているのによくわかった。
Damn.
榊たちはおおむね4本と答えた。
We're just built different, I guess. Yeah, okay. It's not that impressive. I just counted, that's all. Just kind of low-key dunking on our old squad mates.
直接数えたのか。なるほど。貴様は整備実習に相当な力を入れて臨んだようだな。大したものだ。
I don't think the two are related, but okay. Pretty sure anyone could sit down and count them like that. I mean, sure, but, you know, she just said that the rest of your squad mates answered wrong, so obviously it's not that easy. I mean, it's easy if you know, but it's a tricky question. Just pat yourself on the back, right?
まあいい。貴様の言う通り、戦術機には6本の腕がある。主兵装を装備するメインアームと
I don't know. I think those are real arms.
収めたシース内にあるアシストアーム。それぞれが1組。
Okay.
そ
Weird.
れに剣部の装甲シールドを支えるサブアームが1組。計6本だ。
I'm guessing like so there's 2 arms in your sheath, I guess, to like pop out the dagger faster. Subarms that support the shoulder armor. Whatever. It doesn't matter that much, I think. I'm just trying to paint the picture in my head and it's hard. Huh? Wait, they're in the shoulder armor. Like armor blocked on the shoulder? Tama took those off when she shot down the HSST in the previous timeline. I didn't realize there were subarms in there.
なんだ。変な声を出すんじゃない。
I'm sorry, it's just that I've been counting the assault cannon pylons as arms. So we were wrong, we were just lucky. We just had a lucky guess. Right guess, wrong reasoning.
なるほど。そういう言い方も確かにできるな。
I mean, we'll take those. Oh! Diagrams. Okay, what are we looking at? Arm? Okay, so yeah, obviously that's an arm. Or that's an arm. That's an arm. Auxiliary arm. Why is that an arm? I can understand this. So this like pops out and deploys the sheath, right? Oh no, wait, this is... Okay. Hold on, I'm getting it. This is this, right? And this opens up to pop out the close combat daggers, I think. I think that's what they're saying. And this is the one in the shoulder? What does that pop out, though? I mean, you can move and fire the cannon while it's still mounted on the pylons, right? I thought that might be enough to qualify.
だがそれを言ったら跳躍ユニットを保持するアームを数に入れないのは変だろう。
Oh, you're right.
同様に腰部の装甲シールドを保持しているアームもあるぞ。
So if you include that, you have to include a bunch of other stuff that like are arms but not really arms. Huh?
それらもある意味腕には違いないが、戦術機の腕といったら額側にその動力系が存在しないものは数えないのが通例だ。
Guess I never realized there were arms holding those in place. I could have sworn they were all firmly attached to the TSF body.
肩や腰の装甲シールドを固定したら腕と足の可動範囲を制限してしまうからな。
Yeah, you're right.
各部の装甲シールドは腕や足、場合によっては頭部や上半身の動きと連動してそれらに干渉しないように統合制御されているんだ。
That's incredible. I knew they could move around, but I didn't realize they did that much. Most of our maintenance training focused on the cockpit, so we didn't really work on any of those parts.
思考に伴う帯電圧や脳波のデータが蓄積すればするほど戦術機の動きが滑らかになっていくのはそのためだ。
I see. The more patterns the TSF can reference, the better it can predict your movements, which allows the armor to adjust itself preemptively in advance of your inputs. That made sense. But Captain, what does the number of arms have to do with the 3rd gen TSF mobility?
各世代間に腕の数の差はない。今しているのは簡単に言えば作用と反作用の話だ。戦術機の機動性に直結する機体総重量の多くを 剣部装甲シールドが占めているのは知っているな。
Sure. Yep.
それほど重くて大きなものをわざわざ肩に装備する理由は主に3つある。まず第一に敵の攻撃からセンサーやコクピットなど最重要部を防護する
That
ために
is
分厚い
reasonable.
装甲が必要であること。
I know that much. Statistically, more TSFs are taken out by an upper body hit than anything else.
次にメインアームおよび上半身の運動に対するカウンターウェイト、もしくはバランサーとしての機能。そして最後に重心位置を高くすることで機体の静安性を打ち消し運動性を高めるためだ。
Right, TSS are made to tip over easily in order to be as mobile as possible and use electronic systems to maintain stability.
軽量装甲材の採用によって機体総重量が大幅に軽減され機動性が向上したことはすでに説明したが、総重量の多くを占める剣部装甲シールドの軽量化はサブアームやメインアームを含む上半身の反応速度を飛躍的に向上させる結果となった。
Yeah. I see, now I understand why we're talking about arms.
何が分かった？言ってみろ。
Yeah, let's hear it talk through. Operation by light and the advancements in avionics might increase the TSF's overall reaction speed, but it would be pointless if the subarms holding those heavy shields are too slow to keep up. Yeah, so it's like, even though we have this like sick brain to TSF technology, like even if it thinks faster and it's able to react faster, if you don't have the body to follow those commands, it's kind of useless. I get that. At a certain point, the main limbs will just be moving too fast, so collide with the armor and limit the TSF's range of motion. That said, making the shoulder armor any less bulky would throw off the overall weight distribution. Yeah, balance is important, and decrease mobility, while also leaving your most vulnerable areas exposed. The same logic applies to the main limbs. Obviously, you don't want them to be too heavy, because then you'd have a ton of recoil anytime you'd swing them.
その通りだ。貴様はいろいろと独自に調べているようだな。
He's cooking?
兵士として
I get what they're saying. I think like the nitty gritty details of like robot stuff and, you know, Mech Gundam stuff, it goes a little over my head. I'm not like really great at that, but I do like understand what they're saying. But I'm not like, you know, it's a little harder for me than when we did the beta and the hive lore. But I get it. I get the basics. Thank you very much. Though, to be fair, that's only because I've got more experience with the TSFs than the rest of my squad.
軽量化装甲とオペレーションバイライト、そして効率化された高出力エンジン。第3世代機の驚異的な機動性はこれらの相乗効果によってもたらされているんだ。特に新世代機は機体の重量配分がより高重心になっている。
Yeah, all the latest models have huge shoulder blocks, while the lower half is kept nice and slim. Even if you upgraded an older model to match modern specs, it just wouldn't be the same. They were never designed to have such a fundamentally top-heavy weight distribution.
貴様は先日のクーデター事件の際に実際に各世代機と戦っているだろう。
Well, I remember the Shiranui seemed totally outmatched by the F-22s or by the Taka Mitazuchis when in close quarters, though I know piloting still had a lot to do with it. But what really stuck with me was when a F-22 lost to a Shiranui. Yeah, that was, got it. We haven't heard his name in so long. The rebel leader guy. He was outplaying. He just outplayed and killed Walken, man. It was a one-on-one, and I know that can always go both ways, but I was genuinely shocked. I know how insanely powerful Raptors are. This one was being piloted by the Americans' unit commander. Rip in peace. Yeah, I mean, like, I think they might actually talk about something, like, technological, but it's always important to know, like, no matter how strong the weapon, the person using it is always a big factor. Like, obviously, it gives you if it's like two equally skilled people and one has a better weapon, then obviously the person with the better weapon will probably always win. But if there's a skill gap, you can definitely even out the playing field. Like if you're more skilled than the person, even if you have a outdated model.
見たわけではないので何とも言えないが、新鋭機の性能をフルに引き出せなかったということのカタログスペックでラプターは知らぬいをはるかに上回ってるはず
Walking disrespect? He seemed like a pretty good pilot, but I don't know.
ということだろう。
I mean, it had to be. It had to be a difference in skill, otherwise. Just got outplayed. Or the other guy was, just really good. I see.
他に思い当たるのは根本的な要因だが、帝国軍とアメリカ軍の対ベータ戦略の差だな。
What do you mean?
アメリカ軍の背部攻略は G 弾の運用を
Bomb the hell out of it.
ベータと近接戦を行うのはあくまで非常事態のみ。
So we're like more close quarters, and they're more like, let's just bomb the hell out of it and then go in and kill the stragglers.
だからといって近接戦訓練を極端に軽視していることはないだろうし、その能力が著しく低いわけでもないだろう。
Yeah, but I see what you mean. The American surface pilots were pretty tough, but they didn't have any swords on them. I don't think they were expecting a melee fight.
自国内に背部が存在しないアメリカと日本では戦術そのものや
I mean, that's
近
fair,
接
yeah.
戦に対する英士の切迫感に差が出るのは当然のことだ。
There's no way Japan can recover if we can't get rid of that hive. So we're gonna have to infiltrate it sooner or later. There's a high chance that any of us could get assigned to that mission. That's reason enough for our surface pilots to take their combat training incredibly seriously, especially if they've heard any rumors about the survival rates inside the hives.
そういった意識の差、アメリカ軍と我々の基本戦略の差は戦術機の装備にも現れている。
Wait, really? I didn't notice any huge difference other than the fact that he didn't have melee blades. It is kind of a huge oversight. They don't even have like... They probably should just have one just in case, even if they aren't like actively practicing with it.
国連軍をはじめ日本や各国の軍では突入作戦を行う部隊の戦術機には S11 という高性能爆弾が装備される。
Explosives. Right in the dick. Perfect place to put an explosion. S11, not sure I've ever heard of it.
名目上では突入部隊が背部の心臓部である反応炉を破壊するための装備ということ。実際には背部内の戦闘で生還の見込みがなくなったと判断した場合に使う自決用の装備だ。
I mean, that's important, I feel like, especially in like a war like this. If you're gonna die, might as well take out as many as you can with you. What? You're kidding, right? I think it's smart. Obviously, you're not encouraged to like do it unless you're like 100% sure you're gonna die, but I guess the only risk is like if it somehow gets damaged and blows up by accident, it could be a little risky. They seriously have self-destruct buttons?
知っての通り、背部突入作戦は極めて生還率の低い任務だ。作戦が失敗し、生還不能となった兵士たちを待っている者は、機体ごとベータに
Yeah,
食い
probably
殺
a
されるという
faster death than letting the beta do whatever the fuck they want with you. Might yoink your brain out. You never know. I know that fear all too well. No, I have no right to say that. It must be 100 times worse than anything I've been through.
だが、自決装置の存在が、その恐怖と絶望を一瞬で消し去ることを保証してくれる。
Yeah, it's just smart.
しか
Didn't mean to cut you off there. So you won't be dying in vain, at least.
奴らの頑強な反応炉を S11 単発で破壊することはできない。だが、その機能を停止させる程度の破壊力はある。反応炉にたどり着かなかったとしても、S11 の爆発によって内部構造に少なからずダメージを残すはずだ。たとえ今回の作戦が失敗しても、 突入を繰り返すことで背部の機能を徐々に奪い、いつの日にか必ず機能停止に追い込む。自分の死がその結果につながることを、無駄死にではないことを彼らは知っている。
Sure, yeah.
そして将来人類が
I
勝利
agree.
し、戦友や愛する者たちが平和に暮らせるようが必ず来るのだと信じて、兵士たちは背部に突入する。だから彼らは皆生還不能が確定した時点で出口ではなく最深部に向かっていくんだ。アメリカ軍の戦術機にはそういう類の装備は一切ない。理由は繰り返しになるが、背部攻略は
It worked for the Americans, right? But it was just they were bombing Europe. Or no, and Canada. At least we can't just bomb the shit out of them, because we don't want to destroy the land completely. Plus, it's not like 100% effective, right? And isn't some of that shit underwater? That might be wrong. Right. Maybe they're not underwater, but they travel underwater.
目的を達成した者は一例もない。横浜背部攻略も結果としてジーダンによるところが起きた。
Right. It's actually kind of crazy that they haven't put off a single infiltration mission. It's pretty spooky considering we're going on one very soon. It's alright. It's time to make history, I guess, pulling off the first one.
そう考えればアメリカ軍の基本戦略の方が正しいと言えないこともない。
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I've definitely had the same thought before.
ただベータに勝てばよいというのであればその通りだな。だが
Yeah, you gotta think about the humans, man. Look at Canada, man. It's unlivable now. But don't the beta do the same thing to any land under their control?
貴様も箱根で見なかったか？理由はわからないが、ベータに占領されていた
Well, that was
自然が残っている場合がある。
that was different though. We assumed that was because of the volcano or something. Something about a volcano, I thought. That was just unsuitable for them to nest up there or do whatever they do with that area. Actually, I did notice that.
たとえ自然がやられていても、そこにベータがいなければ不便はあっても。
Yeah, the difference is life can return. G bombs, which are like basically like nukes, right? Made that shit like never. It's never coming back.
そしていつの日か自然も回復するだろう。
Right.
だがジーダンが投下された一帯は違う。
Huh?
核兵器のような放射能汚
Unlike
染
with
の備えが
nukes.
演習場や市街地を見ればわかるように、植生
I need to
が回復しない
refresh my mind what a G bomb actually is. What? But what about the trees and the vegetation around the
あれ
base?
は土塁の保護と基地要員の保養という名目で植樹されたものだ。
Moral support. They were. Hey Don Captain, what do you mean under the pretense of? Are you saying there's a different reason?
詳細はわからないが、本当の目的はジーダン被爆土壌が動植物に及ぼす
Should I?
長期的影響の研究が目的らしい。
I'm just trying to quickly. I hope it doesn't. I don't think that'll spawn anything if I just Google Muv Luv G-Bomb. I just want to, like, read what it does again. I know they explained it. Okay, here we go. G-Bomb, a new type of strategic weapon that uses G-element-derived technology to produce a fifth dimensional explosion? What the fuck's a Moorcock Lecht engine? G-bombs are also known for rendering once healthy land completely sterile, perhaps permanently. Their wider and more long-lasting effects are relatively unknown, because it's a new one. And thus, the Yokohama base serves as a test to see if the residual effects on living things. So it's not just the fauna, it's literally us too. That's crazy. There's an image. I don't understand, but it's just a new type of bomb. It's like the nuke, all right? It's like a new type of nuke, and we just don't really understand the full effects of it since it's so new. There we go. I didn't really learn anything. I think that was maybe a real science thing, the Moorcock thing. But we'll just leave it as very dangerous bomb that does some science stuff.
そしてこの基地にいる私たちも当然
I guess I technically did spoil myself, but we were literally like one click away from them saying that the humans are test subjects too, so that's why I usually don't Google anything. It was like so hard reading fucking however long Higurashi was. It took like a year and a half, maybe a little more than that, almost 2 years maybe, without Googling anything, man. Except for like if I ever wanted like an image for a thumbnail or something, I just Google a character's name on images, but that's different. But yeah, anyways. But that would include Yuto Sensei too. She's participating in this research voluntarily. I mean, I bet Yuto would love it, man. She's all about experiments and stuff. Why not make herself part of it? Gravitational anomalies.
そしてそれが人体に及ぼす長期的影響がどういうものなのかは誰にもわからない。国連がアメリカの対ベータ戦略を認めない理由はこの基地が提供するデータがあるからなんだ。
What data have we gathered though? Meaning the negative effects must be so bad they can already tell how dangerous it is from the data alone? Are we safe here? And Yuto Sensei, the captain, and the other higher-ups are still here, fully aware of it. Has everyone on the base been made aware of this information and chosen to stay and fight regardless? I'm gonna assume no. So basically no. It's like, oh, you can figure it out if you glue the pieces together, but no, it hasn't been told. They probably should tell you that though. I'm pretty sure with at least like the nuclear stuff they did, like they made like people like have medicine on the regular or whatever, like safety precautions. True, every soldier knows we use G-bombs to take out a hive here, and it's been a year since then, and there's still no grass in sight. It's obvious the two are related. I mean, I guess, but then at that point you might as well just publish it, because I guarantee like 100% of the people here don't know about it. Like it might be a majority, maybe, but yeah, there's literally no harm in making it public info. At least just, you don't have to publish the full data, but just say that, oh, if you're stationed here, there's a risk you might be affected by the after effects of a G-bomb or something. Which again, I think most people will be okay with considering the state of the world, but I'm just saying, you know? Knowing how dead set these people are on fulfilling their duty, I guess it was a stupid question. It wasn't. It wasn't a stupid question. Smart. Right, by preventing alternative 5, she means. Yeah, wasn't like... So, I'm trying to remember. Alternative 5, they leave. We stay on Earth. We fight on Earth. And I believe they were like they were then gonna launch like a bunch of G-bombs to just like nuke the shit out of Earth. That's my memory of the plan. Oh, okay, literally explain it for me. Thank you. Alternative 5's plan was to evacuate a small fraction of humanity to ensure their survival, then bombard the ever-loving hell out of the beta with G-bombs. It's kind of based, honestly. It means you're basically abandoning Earth forever, but fuck yeah, dude. If we can't have our planet, you can't have it either. So yeah, she's right. Preventing that is part of our objective. Too bad for every other human left on Earth, but... Right. There's no such thing as an easy way out in this world. Everyone does their duty no matter what the personal cost. Hell, even Miss Kyozuta's fighting in her own way.
私は正面ゲート前の坂にある桜並木が好きだ。重力以上で開花は無理だと言われていた桜が今年の春満開になった。
Oh?
私はその命の力に感動し、とても勇気づけられた。
Isn't that like kind of huge though? If it really did that?
死の荒野となったこの地に植樹されながらたくましく根付き、花を咲かせる命の力。
Or it might be a sign. I mean, am I crazy? Is that not huge? That might be a sign that maybe the damage is impermanent if trees are actually growing. Granted, you know, cherry blossom trees aren't exactly the most useful trees to be growing, but they're still trees.
それは恐ろしいほど美しく、命とはとても素晴らしいものだ。だからこそ愛し守らねばならない。だが私たちは自らの命を愛しすぎてはいけない。そうでなければ他人の命を守ることなどできないからだ。
True.
自ら血を流すことを厭い、そこから目をそらして安全保障を他者に委ねてしまえば確かに楽にはなるだろう。
Yeah, those are the... Not obtuse. What is it? Is it even ignorant? I don't know.
だがそうなった場合、その他者にとって都合の良い状況に向かうのは当然であり、そこに乗っかった側が文句を言うことなど筋違いだ。
It's part of the job. That sounds a lot like the relationship I had with Yuko-sensei before I ran away. My entire livelihood was dependent on her, and I didn't even realize it. All I ever did was whine about her decisions.
私にはこの地に眠る多くの御霊がそのことを伝えるために桜を咲かせたように思えてならない。
That's like an urban legend or something. I don't remember if it's from Unlimited or Extra though. Right, I remember hearing that the surface, probably Unlimited, not Extra. There's no surface pilots there. Remember hearing the surface pilots who gave their lives to protect the mainland were buried beneath those trees lining the hill.
私たちはアメリカ人ではない。アメリカ以外は人が住めない土地になっても構わないという戦略では戦えない。
That's for sure. I'm not just gonna condemn everyone outside the borders of my country to die. I came back here to save this entire world, not just a tiny piece of it. To be fair, like, well, Europe's not full. Is Europe fully done? I know Canada is fucked, but is Europe fully done? If it is, then a large part of the world is already gone, to be fair.
だからこそ日本人
But still, save as much as you
国連所
can.
属である私たち自身が自ら G 団の危険性を証明する意義は大きい。そして現状最も有効であ
And I
る
just,
G 団を使わずにベータに打ち勝つ代案を
not in a joking way, but obviously Japan would be against big bombs like that in general from past experiences. Right? And that solution is Sumika, the 00 unit.
私たちに課せられているものの重さが分かったか。
I got you. I do.
脇道にそれすぎたな。よし、今から
That's
10分
interesting.
間休憩とする。解散していいぞ。
Roger that. Thank you very much. I swear, I thought today was gonna be the hive infiltration, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's the next day. Roger that. Thank you very much. The captain's from this area too, if I remember right. It certainly explains why she feels such a strong attachment to this space and the cherry blossom trees leading up to it.
ところで、地震のほどはどうだ？
Or maybe it is happening today. Okay. Huh? Ready for what?
午後のシミュレーター訓練だ。催眠療法の効果、一晩経って何か実感できたか？
Come on, Tatri. How did you forget about it and I didn't? It's been one day for you. It's been multiple days for me. You're not hyped for the hive simulation? Man, she's really persistent about this. Like I said yesterday, Captain, I don't think I'll know until we put it to the test.
そうだったな。
I like that
まあ
humble
効
attitude.
果がなければ別の手
Humble
を考
but
えればいい。
confident.
気楽に臨め。
I mean, this is important. We gotta nail this down before taking on the real hive. Obviously, it's always gonna be different than a simulation, but still. Yeah, of course, but I think I'll be able to manage today.
そうか。結果が楽しみだな。
Finally get to show off our skills in front of our new teammates. That's exciting. Gotta prove ourselves, you know? Gotta make up some lost ground for our reputation since we've been out of it for a bit. Tataru has. Thanks. Whether we get her in proper working order or not, I'm still gonna have to get in a TSF and protect Sumita. So even if the hypnotherapy didn't work, I have to rise to the challenge through sheer force of will. Hype. I think we should stop here though, if we are gonna do the simulation this day. And it's gonna be a long day episode, so we'll just stop here. Next time I assume we're gonna tackle the simulation unless there's a huge event happening before that in this day. And of course we gotta find a present for Sumita. Again, it's not like there's a lot of options, but I'm sure we can find something good. But yeah, thanks for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Muv Luv. Again, I do record in advance, so you know, I do try to respond to the comments, and but if you've like commented on something specific, or like maybe even correcting me on some stuff, like in a future episode I might literally say the same thing again, just because I recorded that episode before the episode you commented on was put out. So like, I don't know, I'm sure there's examples of that, so if you're ever like, damn dude, is he not listening to me, it's literally because I recorded before you commented. So but I do take the comments to heart and parse them in my mind. So yeah, I do appreciate all that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hive simulation hype.